So we're going to look at trigonometry and Pythagoras, and we're going to do them together. Um, so in the same lesson, because I think they're both often taught one after the other, and I think it's good to see how they are related and to make sure we don't get confused. In both cases, we're talking about right angle triangles. Okay, so we have a right angle triangle here and another one over here. And there are ways, if you were to make a right angle triangle, so I'm going to make one down here. You could do this yourself with a pen and paper, as long as you are able to make sure you've drawn a right angle, and you'll notice something quite interesting. So I'll do this now. So I've made a triangle here, and you can do this with, like I say, you can do it with a pen and paper at the same time while you're watching this. Pause this to see what you find out. But if I had so that's a right angle there. Make sure you've definitely done a right angle. And if we measure the height, we draw a line that's 3 centimeters tall. And we draw a base that is 4 centimeters long. Sorry, and you'll find that. Well, I'll be able to tell you how long that side is, and you'll find it is 5 centimeters long. So let's find out why that is. So let's pretend we don't know what the length of that side is. If you measured it, I'm sure, hopefully, you'll find that it is 5 centimeters long. It's I can work it out using this formula here. So A, B, and C. It doesn't matter. You basically label the triangle and make sure that you label the longest side, which is opposite the right angle. Label that as C. And then A and B, doesn't matter which way around you label them. So we could say A is 3 centimeters and B is 4 centimeters, or we could say that A is 4 centimeters and B is 3 centimeters. So let's just do it the first way. So we'll say A is 3 centimeters, B is 4 centimeters, and we're trying to work out what C is. Well, we know that it's 5 centimeters because I told you already, and you can measure it on your triangle, but we're going to try to find out why is it 5 centimeters using this formula. So apparently A squared plus B squared is equal to C squared. Let's find out what happens if I put all that in. So A squared, well, that's 3 squared, because A is 3. B is 4, so B squared is 4 squared, and apparently that's equal to C squared. So 3 squared is, well, let's move it around. Let's put C squared on the left hand side, and 3 squared is 9, and 4 squared is 16. So C squared is equal to 9 plus 16. Well, 9 plus 16 is 25. So C squared is equal to 25. Now, this is often where people make a mistake with this topic, because they then write is 25 centimeters long. Well, that's not what C is. That's what C squared is. So if C squared is equal to 25, then C is equal to the square root of 25. See, I need to square root both sides of the equation. I need to square root the left, which is C squared, and that makes it C. And I need to square root the right as well. And the square root of 25 is 5, because 5 times 5 is 25. Okay, so remember, 3 squared just means 3 times 3. 4 squared equals 4 times 4, and 5 squared equals 5 times 5. So we can see, using Pythagoras, that it is 5 centimeters. And if you, like I said, if you measured it with a ruler, you will see that it really is 5 centimeters. This is what the Pythagoras equation is saying. Okay, it's saying that the equation, you can work out one of the sides. If you know the other two sides, you can work out the remaining side using this equation. So you could probably rewrite this as C is equal to the square root of a squared plus b squared. Now, what if you wanted to know b and you knew what c and a is? Well, what I would do is I would subtract. I would use this starting point. Well, let's move this. This is one of the rearrangements. I'll move this up here. If I wanted to make b the subject, I would subtract from, well, let's make b squared the subject first. Subtract a squared first, and I end up with b squared is equal to c squared minus a squared. And after that, I would square root both sides. So I'd put b is equal, so square root of b squared is just b, and then square root of the right hand side. So that's what I would do if I wanted to work out b. And of course, because it doesn't matter which way around a and b is, then you can probably work out what a would be, but hopefully you could also work it out by rearranging the equation as well. But I'll do it now. So now we want to make a the subject. Let's start off by making a squared the subject by taking away b squared from both sides. And we end up with that. And just like we did before, we square root both sides. Square root in the a squared gives me a, and then I square root the other side as well. So now I have the format of the last equation as well. And I'll put the video maybe here, so I can, in fact, let's chop up the video into two parts. So I've talked about Pythagoras. I'll give you an example question. We'll do some more questions on this as well. And then my second video will be about what did I just say? I talked about Pythagoras just now. I'm going to do trigonometry next. So I'll just stop the video there.